I began traveling a full 7 years before the birth of my book, and have spent more than half of that time in Latin America. A week after crossing the border, I met an evangelist named Kevin, who had in his possession a book of magic keys, some 25 categories of Latin words that are the same in English and Spanish. 1 week studying and I was carrying on conversations in my new second language. Meanwhile, working with the churches, my friends would tell me that I need to pray and ask God for direction, and I would tell them that I need nothing. Si calcetines necesito, voy a encontrar en la calle. 2 days later, I found a brand new pair of socks at the side of the road. However, one day I did pray. I was occupied, pacing behind the congregation one night, and I openly and internally expressed, "Open my eyes and show me things that the people do not normally perceive."
This, then, is stereophonic sound. Sound sculpture in space.
The words on the previous page describing the mark are taken from the song Salt by the band The Orb. One morning after deciding to end my work with Kevin and returning to Cancun, I was sitting in church, bored because, well, church is boring. I was singing this song to myself in my head, and at the exact moment that I finished thinking the phrase, and those 3 markers are always represented by the number 666, I suddenly noticed that the pastor was searching for something at the front of the church. He found a bottle of water, held it up into the air, pointed a finger at the barcode, and stated, "Esta es la marca de la bestia, el 666. That was 5 years ago. I now have a website containing a collection of over 100 videos describing the lies of the government, poisons that they are adding to our food, water, and the blood of our children, poisons that kill brain cells so that it is more difficult to pay attention to what it is that they are doing, poisons they were spraying directly above our heads up until 2005. You've seen the planes with the little white lines that they leave in the sky, which evaporates very quickly. These jets, these are called contrails. It's water vapor. Well, you've seen these jets that leave a long white line that stays in the air for 6, 7, 8 hours. These are called chemtrails, as the jets are leaving a trail of chemicals. Chemtrails were declared an illegal space weapon in a 2005 U.S. resolution, H.R. 2977. Look up. Since 2005, there are no chemtrails in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Costa Rica, nor Panama. However, the night sky was painted with 6 long white lines my first night in Belize. I passed back through in 2011, and all skies were clear. After creating my collection, posting on MySpace, while working one winter in the United States, I prayed again. I asked for help so that the website became as famous as possible, and for the information to reach as many people in the world as is possible. 3 days later, I lost my job. I decided to travel to South America, and while in Panama, I received the chance to teach English. I began recreating the Latin categories. Working on my lessons one night, I was thinking about Portuguese, and I suddenly realized that I could use these same categories to learn and teach several different languages. I was listening to the radio that night, electronic music. I have yet to find the song. And at the exact moment that I had this idea, as the list of languages and countries was still quickly growing in my mind, the music changed, and a female voice said the phrase, "The genius in the crowd." One night, after being invited to an after party, while traveling in Colombia, my best story yet, I was sitting in silence while the others were chatting away in various conversations, thinking about what I wanted to talk about next. I had the thought, well, maybe I should tell them about Zeitgeist, saying the final word all scary-like in my head. Suddenly silence filled the room, as if everyone at the party lost their train of thought at the exact same moment. I don't know if this was my opportunity to start talking, but I was too amazed, and slowly the noise returned. I have no way of explaining the explanation, but with no physical communication, I silenced a house party full of people, everyone, the entire lot, with one single, simple, solitary thought. Now, let me tell you about Zeitgeist.
This, then, is stereophonic sound. Sound sculpture.